welcome to Puzzle Master. Today I'm going to be showing you the solution for the Hanayama heart puzzle, which means I'm going to attempt to show you how you can untangle that gold chain to separate the little silver heart from the big silver heart, and then how you can do the reverse to put it back into its original heart puzzle position. Now the heart puzzle is a level 4 out of 6 on the Hanayama difficulty scale and a level 8 out of 10 on the Puzzle Master difficulty scale. And if you don't already have the heart puzzle, then you can pick it up from our website puzzlemaster.ca. And without further ado, let's get on with that solution. Okay, so here we have a fully assembled heart puzzle, and this one is quite hard to show because of how difficult the chain is to manipulate with this one, but hopefully we'll go through it in a way that makes it easy for you to follow along too. So this is the original position, and what we're going to do to start with is we're going to pull the excess chain through to this side in here. Now in this position, what we are going to do is we're going to grab the middle of the chain, which is this bit here. So the chain comes out through the back of the heart and then up through this position. And what we're going to do is pull this excess chain through like that. So we end up in this position here. Now I'm just going to describe the sort of the principle of what we're aiming for now, and hopefully that will help. So what we need to do now is get this chain through around the end of the two ends of the chain. So this middle bit needs to go around this bit and around this bit. And when I mean this bit, I mean the opposite side of this bit. So what we're going to do to start with is we're going to take this chain and we're going to drop it through the top left hand side of the heart in this position here. Now it's important that you realize or are aware of which side is which when the chain goes through. So here, this top part of the chain and the bottom part of the chain, I'm going to go over the top. So this is the top part of the chain, this is the bottom part of the chain, and we're going to go over the top of the end, and we're going to let that chain now just fall back through to the opposite side. So at the back it now looks exactly the same as it did at the start. But at the front, when we pull this tight, we're now, instead of that middle part of the chain going over just the two middle chain bits, we're now over the top of the left hand side chain as well. So when we pull this tight like we did at the start, we're now in this position here. So this bit is free to go around the back. It doesn't need to, but it's free to go around the back. And now all we need to do is exactly the same, going around the end of this piece of the chain, or this side, or this end of the chain in here. So what we're going to do is exactly the same thing. I'm going to keep this chain here, top bit, bottom bit. I'm going to feed it through that side, or to the opposite side. And again, top bit, bottom bit. From this side, top bit, bottom bit. And we're going to go around the ring, or around the ring that's at the end of this side of the chain, and we're going to pull it tight, and then we're just going to let that chain fall through to the other side, and this can now completely separate. So we're in this position here. It can end up in a position where this is over the heart in this position, but all you need to do, unhook that into that position. And then all we need to do then is just pull that heart free, and that is how we separate the heart puzzle. And for putting the heart puzzle back together, first of all, it's important that you get these first few steps right, otherwise the orientation ends up all out of sync. So first of all, we need to go through the back of the silver heart. So all we need to do is feed the chain through the back of the silver heart. We can pull that tight if we need to, but that's where it's going to end up, in that position there. Then we need to go through the bottom ring of the gold heart. So again, we're just going to drop the chain through there. We can pull it tight, it doesn't need to be tight just yet, but we're going to end up in this position. And now what we need to do is we'll get this silver heart out of the way slightly so it's a little bit easier to explain. And now what we need to do with this chain is essentially go to the opposite side of these two bottom chains. And again, we're going to do that by going around the ends. Doesn't matter which end you do first. I'm going to go left one and then the right one. But we're going to feed this part of the chain through the top left corner into this position. And it's extremely hard to describe like which bit's going over which bit. But I mean, if you get it wrong, you just simply need to undo what you did and go the opposite way. So we've gone around it, we're going to pull it up, which then just allows the chain to drop back through. And then when we come back to this point here, we should have done sort of one stage, if you like. So it might be hard to see here, but we're now under this part of the chain here. So we're halfway there. We're under this one, but we're on top of this one. So what we need to do now is pull this part of the chain tight, and we're going to feed the end through the top right hand side of the hat. Again, make sure you know which bit is which, top to bottom. So for me, I know that this part is the top, this part is the bottom, and I need this to go over the end, over the silver ring. And then all I need to do is just pull it and let the chain drop back through. And with then back in the original position, all we need to do is pull the heart tight. Here, make sure that you're not tangled from side to side. That's quite a common fault. But once you've got it lined up in that position, all you then need to do is pull the ends tight. And that is how you reassemble the heart puzzle. So there it is, that is how you disassemble and then reassemble the Hanayama heart puzzle. I've tried to do my best to explain it and show it in a way that is easy to understand, but this is a tough one to do, this is a tough one to solve, and hopefully this has made it a bit easier for you to do. The key really is just going around the ends of the chain and keeping track of which bit is going over the end or which bit is going back over if you're putting it back together, and just making sure it's the right way around. If you get it the wrong way around, then you need to reverse what you've done very quickly, because it gets very tangled if you get it the wrong way around. But yeah, hopefully this has helped you solve the Hanayama heart puzzle for yourself. If you want to pick up more puzzles just like the heart puzzle, then check out our website puzzlemaster.ca, where we have the biggest variety of puzzles on the internet in the world. And until next time, I will see you later.